It's really weird for me to talk to a camera, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try to make this work, try to make it make sense. We'll see. Yeah, pretend like you're talking to a friend or something, so it's not weird. But one of the things I wanted to talk about was how I knew I was INFJ and not an INFP, because it's a really big issue with MBTI. You know, INFPs mistyping as INFJs, INFJs mistyping as INFPs, and it can really get in the way of you being able to use MBTI as a tool for growth, because you think you understand yourself in this particular way, only to realize that you don't really fit that description at all, and you don't understand yourself nearly as well as you think that you do, and it can be an issue. So I have some notes here because this is my first time trying to do a video where I'm talking to the camera, and it's really awkward and hard for me, and I keep losing my train of thought. I almost lost my phone too. But yeah, so I'll probably pretty much be reading off of these because I don't know what I'm doing at all. So let's start with the primary function for INFJs, which is introverted intuition. And at first I really didn't know if I identified that strongly with introverted intuition, because I always had strong gut feelings about situations or people. I'd be like, I know something bad is going to happen here. I don't know why, but I feel like it is. Or I would feel maybe it wasn't good for me to have a relationship with this particular person, but I would kind of ignore that feeling because I didn't really know where it came from. I thought, well, you know, maybe everyone feels that way, and maybe I was subconsciously judging them based on some kind of stereotype or whatever, and I just kind of ignored my intuition a lot, and it always got me into trouble. A lot of websites just kind of said that introverted intuition was this magical all-knowing function. It almost sounded like I could look at a person and automatically know their entire future, which wasn't true at all for me. I mean, I could know a lot about a person from observing them for a while, but it doesn't mean that I automatically know everything about them and their future and where things are going to go. Like, it's not really a concentrated thing. It's something that just kind of comes up out of nowhere for me. So I also have some notes on why I do not use introverted feeling as my dominant function, which I thought maybe I did, but introverted feeling is the dominant function for INFPs. So if you are an INFP, this will be the function that you lead with, and it's basically your main mode of operation. So a big reason why I do not use introverted feeling is because I don't understand my own emotions, like, at all. It's kind of sad, actually. I've had a lot of situations where I won't realize how badly my feelings were hurt about something. Like, I'll know my feelings were hurt. I'll be like, yes, this situation made me sad. But until I start talking about it with someone, I don't realize just to the extent that that situation made me sad, or that person made me sad. And I've had a lot of times where I will just start crying once I talk to someone about something, and it'll be like, wow, I had no idea I felt this way. Like, I had no idea this was my emotion. And I feel like INFPs don't really need to talk to other people to understand what they're feeling, which I'm sort of jealous of. A lot of my INFP friends, they don't even want to talk about their feelings. A lot of the times you have to be very close to them for them to want to talk about their feelings with you. Whereas with me, yes, you have to be close to me for me to talk about my feelings with you, but I absolutely need to talk about my feelings to figure out how to sort them out, or even what I'm feeling at all. Like, I need that external input to understand what's going on within myself, and INFPs don't need that. INFPs understand themselves very well. They might not seem like they're feeling a lot on the outside, but they know very well what they're feeling on the inside. They know what they like, they know what they dislike, they know what's going on inside of them, they know what they want, and I honestly envy that, because I don't know what I want at all, and it makes life kind of hard. So some things that made me realize that I use extroverted feeling, which is the INFJ secondary function, are that I often will alter myself to entertain or comfort other people. I don't even really realize that I do it most of the time. It's just, I won't feel like doing something, but then I'll do it to make sure the other person's okay. My mom actually said something about that to me the other day, because we were in the car and we'd picked up one of my friends, and I could tell one of my friends wasn't feeling very comfortable in the situation. She was kind of quiet and seemed to be just feeling very awkward. So I started talking to her and trying to make her feel comfortable, and I put a lot of effort and energy into making sure that she would feel comfortable. And later my mom is like, why do you just start entertaining people when you don't need to do that? She's like, just be yourself. You don't have to entertain everybody who comes your way and try to make sure that they're okay. And I didn't even realize I was doing that. It was just something that was like, wow, really? Okay, I guess you're right. I was trying to entertain that person, but I didn't realize that's what I was doing. Another thing is that I absorb people's emotions without even realizing it. Like, a lot of times it's hard for me to differentiate my own feelings from what someone else is feeling. I've had a lot of situations where I thought maybe like I liked somebody, but I actually didn't like them. They liked me, and I was picking up on that feeling. I'm actually aromantic, and the way I figured out that I was not having crushes on those people was because when I asked my friends about it, they would say things like, well, when you like somebody, you can never stop thinking about them. And I thought, well, I never really think about those people. Like, I don't sit there in my room at night and go like, oh, Chad, or whatever. I don't think about them, but then when I'm around them, I have this strange feeling, like they're hiding something from me, or there's just something awkward there, and it makes me feel strangely around them. And when I realized that those feelings weren't mine, and that I was just absorbing them from the person who liked me, it made me feel so much better. I was like, wow, okay, now everything makes sense. Like, I have a better idea of who I am as a person, I have a better idea of my own identity, and how to separate that from other people. So now, a lot of times when I start to feel something, I don't really know the reason why I'm feeling it, I start to ask other people, like, questions to draw them out. The camera stopped filming, so I have to try this again. Oh, look, it's my bird clock. It's making a noise because the time just changed. Reasons why I do not use extroverted intuition as my secondary function, which is the INFP secondary function. At first, I thought I used extroverted intuition because I'm a pretty creative person, and extroverted intuition is usually described as creativity. And I like art, I like coming up with ideas, I like imagining things, so why do I not use that? But I realized later that I do not use extroverted intuition because when I come up with an idea, it's usually more like a singular idea, and all these other things all form this one particular idea. And I can get kind of attached to that idea, to the point where it's actually difficult for me to let go of it if I realize it's not going anywhere. And it can be sort of like a frustrating and almost humiliating process. Whereas I notice a lot of extroverted intuition users, they are not as attached to their ideas as I am. They will come up with lots of different ideas, and if one of those ideas doesn't work out, like they can kind of abandon those ideas without worrying too much about them. And I really admire that because it makes them a lot more adaptable, which is something that's really cool. It's cool to be adaptable. I'm not really adaptable, but it's cool to be adaptable. Another thing is that extroverted intuition users are usually really good with spontaneity. I am very bad with spontaneity. For example, if I have a friend who says, let's go get ice cream at this particular time, and then we are on our way and they're like, oh, actually, let's go to karaoke, I feel like going to karaoke, my brain is just like, this doesn't make sense. You said we were going to get ice cream, but now you're telling me we're going to karaoke. I didn't mentally prepare myself for karaoke, and then I just get really stressed out, and on the outside I'm like, oh yeah, let's do karaoke, but on the inside I'm like, how dare you, you just ruined my entire day. I'm pretty good with planned spontaneity, so if one of my friends says, hey, tonight we're going to go out on the town and just do whatever we feel like doing, I'm like, great, sounds great. And then if we think about getting ice cream, but then they say, let's do karaoke, it's not such a big deal because I planned it to be spontaneous. And it's like, hey, you feel like doing karaoke? Great. I'll do karaoke with you. It'll be a good time. And it's really just the things that lead up to the event, the expectation that leads up to all of that, that changes how I think about it. If I did not have the plan in place that we were going to get ice cream, it's okay if we don't get ice cream. But if I had the plan in place, it's like really stressful to not get ice cream. Why introverted thinking is my tertiary function. So I don't have too much to say about this because I felt like it was something that was a little hard for me to articulate properly. I didn't think me talking about it would really make too much sense. So, anyways, I hope this makes sense. I'm gonna try to do my best to make sure this makes sense. One thing is that I usually seem to kind of accept an idea at first, but then several hours later, I will actually decide if I agree with the idea or not. So, say for example, someone says that rats live on the moon, or rats can live on the moon. It's like, well, I don't really know if rats can live on the moon or not because I haven't researched it. Maybe rats can live on the moon. It's not something I've really thought about too much before. So someone says, yeah, I found out that rats can live on the moon. And I'm like, oh, cool, really? Tell me more about that. And they're thinking, haha, you're so gullible because you think rats can live on the moon, which maybe they actually can. I don't know. I didn't research whether or not rats could live on the moon before filming this, but I'm pretty certain rats can't live on the moon unless they have assistance from some kind of human technology, but whatever. Anyways, it's like, in the moment, I will just kind of accept that idea and be like, oh, cool, okay. And then maybe a few hours later in the day, I just think, you know what? That was a bunch of crap. Rats can't live on the moon. So reasons why I do not use introverted sensing. My memory is total crap. Like, really, it's awful. I can't remember what I did 2 days ago, and it's really sad. My friends will be like, remember when we did that thing? And I'm like, no. And they're like, it was 2 days ago. And I'm like, yeah. I wouldn't know that because I don't remember. I'm not really that sentimental. I don't really like looking through past memories just for the sake of looking through them or reliving the emotions. It's like, once it's over, I don't really want to think about it anymore unless there's something I can use from the past experience that will benefit me in the future. I don't really mind, like, when I hang out with friends, us thinking about, like, oh yeah, this fun thing that we did, or when I see my family, like, remember when we were kids, or things like that. Those are fun, but I'm not just gonna sit in my room and think about elementary school just to think about elementary school. It's not really my idea of fun. And another one, I'm really, really bad at identifying what's going on with my body, like what I'm feeling, if that makes sense. I could be really, really cold, and I'll kind of know in the back of my mind that I'm cold, but I won't really do anything about it or notice it. Like, someone will come up and touch me and be like, you're cold. And then I'm like, yeah, I am cold. Thanks for telling me. I should probably get a blanket or put on a sweater. So, reasons why I use inferior extroverted sensing. I really value quality things. I didn't realize that that was a thing that was about me until my friends started mentioning it. And I was like, oh yeah, you're right, I do have really, really expensive taste. And that's not to say I can't enjoy things that are, less nice than what I usually like. It's just, I like things that are nice. I like fancy food, and I like really high quality clothes. I like nice cars, I like nice houses, and I don't necessarily need those things to be happy, but it certainly helps me be happy. Apparently, that's an extroverted sensing thing. When I am stressed out, there is no gray area for me. It's completely all or nothing. Like, I will eat so much food to the point where I just think I'm gonna die because I'm eating so much food, and then I won't stop even when I think I'm gonna die, and I'll have like 6 chocolate cakes, and I don't even like cake. I know it sounds crazy, I don't like cake, but I'll eat tons of them when I'm under stress because if it's available, I'll eat it. Or on the other hand, I won't eat anything at all. I will survive on like water, tea, maybe like a couple almonds and an apple if I'm feeling frisky, and that's about as far as it goes. Some reasons why I am not an inferior extroverted thinking user, which is what INFPs are. I don't really know how to explain it, I'm just not. Like, I wish I was more practical and systematic and just good at things, but I'm not. Okay, so anyways, I hope this video made sense. Sorry it kind of changed a lot. I had to go do some things in between takes, and also I'm really bad at just talking to a camera. I've never really done this before. It's really awkward and hard to do. I hope maybe this could help you a little bit decide if you were INFP or INFJ, or maybe just deepen your understanding of the differences between the two types a little bit. Bye.